Welcome back to Miami for our continuing coverage of the NBA Finals Game 6. A classic, all-time classic basketball game from start to finish. You saw Ray Allen's jumper with 5+ seconds left to carry the game into overtime. Chris Bosh's incredible block at the end of the game. Bill Simmons, you've been studying basketball. You've written a huge book about the history of basketball. Where does this go? Where do you place this?
That might have been the toughest basketball loss ever. I was thinking the triple overtime game in 1976, Boston and Phoenix, Magic and the Lakers, 88. The Pistons came so close, Jalen, twice. You came this, but I've never seen a team come closer to the title without winning the title. 2 missed free throws, 2 rebounds they didn't get. Parker shot an air ball. And then in the last 15 seconds of overtime, they didn't have Parker on the floor. They had to run Ginobili on the last play. I don't want to call it a choke because I think they were tired. I just thought they ran out of gas, and the coach made mistakes, the players made mistakes, and it was a collapse.
I'm going to do it. They choked. They had the game won. You don't have the ball with 28 seconds to go. You're up 4. You're going to the free throw line. Ginobili misses 1. Kawhi Leonard misses a free throw. They give up 2 offensive boards to the Miami Heat so that they can knock down the 2 threes that cost them actually to send the game into overtime. This is one of the missed free throws here. Here's Leonard missing a free throw that could have put him up 4.
And we got to say, I have never seen a scarier free throw attempted than that. Been in the building for that. It was all white, people screaming at the top of their lungs. I was sitting there thinking, is he going to hit the rim, Jalen?
Luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. And if you're the San Antonio Spurs, you're definitely kicking yourselves. And if you're the Miami Heat, you're wiping your brow. So we got away with it. Because late in the game, Tony Parker made a big-time 3 when the team was struggling. Then he made a 2. LeBron James makes a 3 late in the game. A couple of offensive rebounds by Chris Bosh. And the late assist for Chris Bosh to Ray Allen. And I hate to say it, Bill, this is why Ray Allen left Boston. To be in a situation where Dwayne Wade may be struggling, LeBron James had a couple of poor plays late, you can get it to Ray, he's automatic.
There was so much drama at the end of the game and so many things we can question. You know, Pop's use of Duncan, whether he should have had Tony Parker on the bench, which is unimaginable to all of us sitting up here second-guessing. Then it all sort of obscures the 4th quarter of LeBron James. People talked about, well, he needs a signature game. In the 3rd quarter here, people were shaking their heads. Home fans who love LeBron James, they couldn't believe how badly he was playing, yelling at LeBron, who winds up in the 4th quarter with 18 points and overtime, winds up with 32 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, a triple-double, put his head down and went to the basket
and guarded Tony Parker.
Well, he was upset. He was saying, hey, I'm going to put this team on my shoulders, and I'm going to stop taking jump shots, and I'm going to the basket every time, and I dare any Spur to try to stop me. And then when you think about, this is one of the classic blocks when he blocked Tim Duncan, who had an easy layup. This man did everything in the 4th quarter to put his team in a position to win, that being LeBron James. Look, I've been in this league 30 years, over 30 years, 35 years. This is one of the all-time classic final games I've ever seen in my life. Woo! That's why I love this game, Jalen. It was highs and lows everywhere. Tim Duncan dominated, 25 points at halftime. Then the 3rd quarter, looked like the Spurs were going to win it, up 10 going into the 4th quarter. Then LeBron James said, nope, not on my watch.
Then Parker. and then Parker came flying in that 5 points.
And I like your LeBron James analogy. A lot of people talk about him playing like he was in Cleveland. You just described him playing like he's in Akron, in high school, playing at the park on a windy day. It's point game. I'm not shooting a jumper. We getting a basket or a foul. And while we throwing out the term classic, let's not include Manu Ginobili. 9 points, 8 turnovers, minus 21 plus minus.
And last point on the Ray Allen 3. I can only remember Kareem, Game 6 in Boston, 1974, made a skyhook in double overtime to basically win that game. Ray Allen didn't just save the game. He saved the series. He saved the season.
The franchise.
He pulled the trophy away. We were watching them. They pulled the trophy out. They had guards guarding it. It was like the 1986 World Series. And all of a sudden that trophy was gone in about 2 minutes.
They were ready to award the trophy. And everybody, even the people in this building who started filing out,
they filed out.
The San Antonio Spurs had won the game. And the question becomes this. Personally, I think both things happened. Both things were true. The Miami Heat played with incredible heart and precision to force the Spurs into a place where they choked. The decisions or the actions on the players on the court, the missed free throws, the failing to grab rebounds.
And the coach.
That's what I'm saying. Where do you want to really pin this for the Spurs, or does it all work in concert?
Well, Coach Popovich should have had Tim Duncan in that game on both of those offensive rebounds, Jalen. Then when the beginning of the fourth quarter, when they had a 10-point lead, they had all the momentum, they were rolling. He didn't have Tony Parker or Tim Duncan in. He had no scorers on the court, and that really cost him as well. And that's when LeBron started attacking. So Coach Popovich is going to take a lot of this blame, as well as the players who missed the free throws. And then Ginobili made 2 bonehead mistakes as well when he went down and tried to take the whole Heat team on his one-on-one by himself. He should have passed that basketball.
And also, after Ray Allen made the 3, there was still 5 seconds to go. We don't remember what the Spurs ran. You know why? Yeah. It wasn't a quality play. And also, when they were trailing by 3, you have Tiago Splitter and Tim Duncan, 9 3-point shooters in the game on the final possession.
And give Chris Bosh credit. He blocked 2 big shots.
And when I think of this game, I'm going to think of Duncan's throwback first half. I'm going to think of LeBron's headband coming off, LeBron taking over. I'm going to think about the missed free throws and the missed rebounds. And then I'm going to think about Ray Allen. Best 3-point shooter ever. Biggest shot of his career.
You got to say Mario Chalmers' name because he kept him in the game.
Good point, too. Here are the images from one of the best NBA Finals games ever. Let's be honest. Back to you guys.
LeBron James, 32 points, part of a triple-double. He had 16 points in the fourth quarter as Miami battled back from down 10 to start the fourth quarter to force overtime. Ray Allen with the biggest shot of the season for Miami. 0 for 4, 0 points through the first 3 quarters, but he had 9 in the fourth quarter and overtime, and the Heat win it in overtime. So we check in with Mark Schwartz.
On a night when his shots at the rim often went awry and his passes flew into enemy hands, LeBron James turned desperation into dominance. With his legacy hanging by a thread, he threw down an explosive putback slam before losing his trademark headband. James found a will and a way to keep the Heat and his legacy alive.
You know, I basically just told myself, give it all I got. You know, if we go down losing, I'm going to go down with no bullets.
You know, one thing I always try to make sure I do with him is to make sure that he understands his aura, his energy, you know, has an effect on the rest of the team, and we always need it to be great energy.
It was MVP time, and he knew it. I don't think that his headband's, you know, like the feather in Dumbo, you know, but we want that aggressive LeBron, and if he plays like that in Game 7, we'll take our chance.
James called it by far the best game he's ever been part of because of the mental toughness his teammates demonstrated against a team with a championship pedigree and a proven ability to close the deal. Well, now it's James who can close out the Spurs. And win or lose, he's sure to be the most riveting Game 7 storyline. As Ray Allen said, it's a terrible burden for one guy. But for the chosen one, it's simply destiny. In Miami, Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
There's a word for the Miami Heat this season. It's resilient. They're perfect 7-0 this postseason following a loss. The win in Game 6, the first of those wins that wasn't decided by single digits. They had been blowing opponents away after losses. And win or lose in Game 7, the Heat will finish the season without having lost consecutive games since early January.
Here are the Miami Heat fans leaving the finals after Game 6. Oh, wait. Jalen, this wasn't after Game 6.
No re-entry. Move your feet, lose your seat.
Hey, everybody in that video, you just missed one of the great endings to a finals game ever. One of the greatest games ever. No team has ever come closer to winning the title without winning the title than the 2013.
Look at them coming back.
Spurs.
You believe that they're
They'll come back. I like that she slammed the door in their faces. Jalen, you were on, it wasn't as bad as this. You weren't going to win the title with the game, but the Larry Johnson 4-point play, which was just devastating. Same thing, crowd goes nuts. What's the locker room like after that?
It's demoralizing. And I was guarding a person, Charlie Ward, taking the ball out. I deflected the ball. It goes to LJ, gets a bogus 4-point play, as everybody's seen, and the crowd goes wild. And Knicks go on to win that series. You're devastating after that play. But as you know, Magic, it's a series. It's not like college. It's not like the Super Bowl. You have to play for the entire duration of whatever's going to happen. There are going to be ups and downs. Can the Spurs recover from this in Game 7?
I don't think so, Jalen. first, mentally, you're down because you know that you had the game won. You should have won this game. And then physically, look at the minutes played. Kawhi Leonard, 45. Ginobili, 34. Tim Duncan played almost 45 minutes. And here is one of the biggest plays in the game. Kawhi Leonard missed this free throw. Ginobili missed one right before that. Kawhi Leonard misses this one, which could have put him up 4. They would have won the game. I don't know how you recover, both mentally and physically. And then at the end of the game, you know, you say, man, this was ours. Tonight, they're not going to sleep all night. And how do they come back for a big Game 7? Michael, tell me how they do that.
You know, it's interesting. Sitting here and sort of digesting this, and you know that Greg Popovich, despite some plays that we all think he was just sort of decisions wrong to make, leaving Tim Duncan on the bench a couple of times and they didn't get rebounds, you know, having Tony Parker on the bench, despite all that. Greg Popovich is one of the great coaches in team sports in the modern history of American sports. So that's the only thing that is not leading me to say they have no chance. I'm going to give Popovich and that group of guys that have demonstrated heart time after time after time after time in their careers, in their Hall of Fame careers, Ginobili, Parker, Duncan, I'm going to give them some benefit of the doubt. 20%? But overwhelmingly, I just don't see how they can gather themselves, forget about this, and come back, Bill. I just think it's too difficult against a team now that's off the hook and playing close to free and easy in Miami.
And the other problem is they put everything into this game. This was Duncan saying, I'm throwing everything into this first half. I'm going back to 2003 Duncan. I'm going to do this for as long as I can. Then Parker, the minutes he played on the hamstring. You know, there is a precedent, though. The 1974 Celtics blew the double overtime at home, Game 6. Kareem makes a skyhook. They have to go back to Milwaukee. Basically the same situation, right? Oh, my God, we blew it. And they ended up winning Game 7. So there you go, Spurs. You have a precedent.
And also more of an issue for the Spurs, as you mentioned. Tim put everything into it.
Everything.
Tony made a couple of big shots, a 3 and a 2 late. Manu gave him nothing. 9 points, 8 turnovers, negative 21 plus minus. But the role players, their water got cut off. Yeah. Danny Green and Neal, they came up short. Nothing. Didn't get much from Dial either.
Hard to recover from a game like this, especially when you had the championship right in your hand.
Unreal. So many images from this game. Oh, wait. This is the real ending. The game is actually over now, and they won. Those who stayed to see it, which, to be fair, was like 95% of them, go out into the night in South Florida and celebrate a victory and a Game 7.
You know why?
Well, because he got game. Spurs Heat right here. Final seconds regulation. LeBron James missed badly. Ray Allen says, I'm making Spurs fans feel bad. Step back, hits the 3. That forced overtime. Miami wins it in overtime, and we will have a Game 7. It was an instant finals clash.